Hello people. Somebody shaved me, huh? Somebody shaved me, man. Yeah. Anyway, bro. Another day, another video straight in the face, you know. Straight on point. Telling you. Right now. We will talk about abuse. About slavery, about colonization. Alright, let's dive in. See, what do they have in common? The pioneers that did the dirty work with the help of the army in America, taking away America from the Native Americans. The slave masters taking slaves from African countries, and narcissistic and other abusers. What do all of them have in common? Yeah, apparently they abuse people. They have a lot in common. As long as nobody looks, as long as they are hanging with their own kind, the scavengers, the dirty-minded people, they are proud of what they are doing, actually. They say, hey, look, today we wiped out that whole tribe, you know. Raped the women, killed the children. Taking just the strongest man, you know. And they will laugh about it and be really proud of what they achieved today, you know. They are sure they do it for something, whatever the brainwashing is, you know. Or just for themselves, whatever. And another thing that we can learn from, and what the victimized people have in common. Have you ever seen someone standing more proud than a Native American or a slave, no matter whether in captivity or free or breaking free? So, you cannot break the pride of a person by abusing the person. Why is that? It is because the person knows the bad things are coming from my abuser. He is the one dependent, the one in need, the one that takes, the one that breaks the rules, written or unwritten. He is doing the bad things. You are the strong one enduring it. The one who allowed him by your goodness to do it, because in most cases they enslave the people by using something the people gave to them before. If you look at the covert narcissist, my favorite, he has nothing when he is coming on stage. He has nothing, but whatever you give him, he will use it against you, and in the end they will try to abuse you. Yeah. You see, the Indians have been made dependent with the Native American Indians with alcohol. They have been fooled with cheap glass pearls, you know, and then they have to come and say, please give us that alcohol, you know, whatever. Slaves don't get water and bread, so they have to beg on their knees to their abusers. So the abuser gets the feeling the slave is dependent on me, but this is just a mind trick. Of course the slave is not the one dependent. And this is the sadistic side of abusers, because they take joy out of inflicting harm. And as long as nobody looks, they are proud of what they do. It excites them. there's really a huge burst of dopamine in their fucked up brains, you know. And another thing the victimized people have in common is that the time, the pain, everything they sacrifice, every sleepless night, because sleep deprivation is a very nice something abusers like very much to use to break people. Also, everything, the pain, the agony, everything you sacrificed, it's stored energy, it's stored time that the victimized person is saving up, and it will be able to use it for whatever it wants. And it's also containing information, because once the world, the civilized people, educated people, empathic people look at the scenery, what happened, I'ma wait, there's some people, you know, as soon as they look at that, everybody's looking now. The abusers, guess what? They turn tail, they hide in plain sight, you know. Suddenly they are ashamed. Suddenly they try to get an easy way out. And this is when you use the stored energy, the stored time. They will go through that 100-fold what you went through. They will carry this for the rest of their lives. Jeopardized children, raped women, killed children, you know, whatever they did. They carry this to the rest of their life. They will be running away from it, or they will break from it, whatever. They get this back, bro, 100%. Once everybody's looking, they can't stand the information. And this is also what helps people to endure it when they are in captivity, when they are abused. They know that what they endure, the pain, the tears, the blood, the sweat, the struggle, they know that the abusers can't do the same, and they will get it back more than just once, you know. And the information, they can't stand it. They can't stand what they do. So the people who are being enslaved, abused, mistreated, they know that whatever the abusers does to them, they do it to themselves, and they will not be able to stand it. So, my people, if you have been victimized, if you are still victimized, I want to tell you, you can stand proud and strong, no matter what. It's not in vain, your sacrifice. The energy, the information, everything, the time, it's stored up for you. And your abusers will go through what they do to you 100-fold. You don't even have to do a lot, but break free. Do not believe that you are dependent of your slave masters. You must break free, otherwise you help them. Never help anyone to enslave you, to abuse you. As soon as you understand, you have to break out, get away. And that's what the Maroons in Jamaica did. They were enslaved people, but they broke free and lived a very beautiful life. If you hear me, brothers, I will soon live with you. The Maroons, man. If you know Native Americans, they stand proud to this day. Everything has been taken away from them, you know this. The story of abuse, of stealing. The whole country, everything. They stole everything from them. Country, property, people, lives, culture. And they were proud of it. Some of them were proud of it until everybody looked at it, and then everybody is suddenly pitiful, ashamed, you know. Yeah, so my survivors, my people in struggle, my vagabonds in power, you are not the dependent ones, you're not the needy ones, you're the strong ones, you're the ones that generate out of nothing self-sustaining energy, your creativity, your physical prowess, your mental strength. This is what they feast on, nothing else. Yo. And this will not change, yo. This has been this same way all the time, you know, 100 years, 400 years, you know. The same philosophy, yes. Strong people, you know. The strongest have always been the one abused and enslaved by the weak. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? The needy people who can't do it themselves, what do? They go looking for strong people. Yeah. Yes, of course. Alright. Even though we might stand with huge distance apart like the oaks in the forest, still we stand proud. Hey brother, you know what I'm saying? Have a good day, good week. I'll see you another day. Tough world, leveled up. Hey, whenever I make a video, it often happens to me. Walking in a forest, reflecting over it. And then I have to make a little addition, you know what I'm saying? So, the biggest danger for the people who survive the abuse, you know, they have been victimized, but they are no victims. They survive the abuse. They are survivors. They are the strong ones, you know. And the biggest danger is that they lose something important while they have been abused, so they take damage, or they don't fully recover, so they can even take the damage after the abuse because of grief. And they become abusers themselves, or just change dramatically, you know. So I can only emphasize on keep your good sides, you know, your strength. What made you actually attractive for the abusers, the good sides of you, all the abilities, you know what. You have to remember yourself then. Because the abusers will try to, before they release you, before you can break free, as soon as they realize that they lose control, you are in danger, because they will try to addict you on as many substances as they can, like the Native Americans from alcohol. They will try to take as much as they can from you and make sure that you don't make it, that you do not tell your story, that you will not come back to your full energy without the abusers, you know what I'm saying? And if you would make the wrong decisions or say, all right, I understood the message, now I will move around like them, this would be the biggest mistake you could do, you know. You have to remember who you are, who you really are, and keep these things. And like in the last video I made from yesterday, you can learn from them, but they can't learn from you. They cannot become what you are, what they are so envious on, you know. They can't become that. They try to get it from you so badly, but they can't. And you can learn from them to not being ever abused again. And how this works was the video from yesterday, okay? So keep your good side, keep that, and level up in that tough world, so you will never be abused again, okay? From now on, all your energy will work for you. Isn't that great? See the tree here? Looks like he got abused a little bit, right? Because he's so strong. Still proud. Hey, the reflection video of the reflection video, I hope the last one today. Yeah, the topic is really fascinating. Shame and pride, perceived by empathic people and perceived by narcissistic people. One of my favorite topics. Yeah, again, you can Wikipedia this narcissistic mortification topic. Again, the twisted personality of narcissists is twisted. So, this means in the small scale, in the small circle behind the curtain, they are proud of their abuse. You know, this is the sadistic side of abuse. To be proud and having joy from inflicting pain. And if you confront these people, within this small scale, behind the curtain, more or less in privacy with what they did, they're actually proud of it, you know, and get excited about it and are happy, like, you know, somehow I have this imagination. It's like a child that smears itself with his own shit in order to get some reaction from the mother that otherwise wouldn't give the kid a reaction. And then there is this kid proud to have smeared himself in his own shit. And so somehow this came to my mind when I perceived this very confusing thing that they take pride in shameful things, you know. Okay, but if you add a large social context, so if these people are confronted with what they did within a lot of people or important people, and they don't want them to know this, then it changes. And the grandiose narcissist, he hates this kind of mortification. He fears it, and it can actually trigger narcissistic collapse. And I think the same applies to the covert narcissist as well. And this this moment of pride they have when they abuse, and this can exist in a shared fantasy. So if they are together as partners, the abusers, or different abusers together, can always validate each other that what they did is actually a huge achievement and they are proud of it. But they lose pride in the long term completely. They cannot live with pride anymore because they get socially isolated by the information they generated, by what they did, and they have to hide themselves. They have to close the family so that nobody destroys this shared fantasy. They want to protect it, to live inside this, but they have to hide the truth, the information for their, they have to hide it from their kids, from their own kids, from all the people who are still close, if they are not yet isolated from them. So they get isolated from society by doing this, and it's a short-term thing, this pride you take in abuse, because after this it will get harder and harder to live the shared fantasy. So twisted, very twisted. The narcissist knows that he is fake. He knows even his pride is fake. And he's running away constantly running away from truth. Gets harder and harder. And this is how a cult is established. They have so many things to hide that there is a huge curtain around, a layer that only believers may pass through. And everybody else is manipulated and gets a certain different face to see, These people are really masterful in camouflaging and mimicking. But it's better they mirror you than you see their true nature. If you're not prepared, you wouldn't take it to see the true face of them, man. And if we see abuse this way on a bigger scale, I don't want to talk about America, I don't want to talk about slave masters who took the slaves from Africa. But I want to talk about national pride in Germany. It's a topic I don't want the discussion, please, on my channel. But if we see it this way, what happened 1933 to 1945, it could be seen as a huge shared fantasy where all the abusers were validating each other that what they do is good and they can be proud of it. But when the Nürnberger Prozesse came, this shattered the shared fantasy of them. They could not keep it up. They could not be still proud on what they did, And a lot of them couldn't stand it and killed themselves. And this is what I mean when I say these people go through what they did, they do it to themselves too. And it's a shared fantasy they live in, and as soon as you isolate them and they are confronted with the truth, they can't stand what they did. They can't stand it anymore, But when they did it, they probably were proud of it, man.